Hello and welcome to Collector Creations. In this Anatomy of a Blu-ray, we're looking at Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael from Viavision Entertainment. A really interesting coming-of-age drama. It's heavy on the coming-of-age stuff, but it's also just a good character drama about identity and about what was that thing? Human connection in contrast with, I guess, absolute fame. And yeah, so in terms of packaging wise, it's a standard slipcover version from Viavision, which is nice. It has the exact same artwork on the inside, standard regular case, and of course some artwork on the disc and a picture of Winona Ryder in all black in a pink room on the inside. It's fun. It's generic for packaging and whatever, but it's got a very standard Viavision touch to it. I'm actually going to dive into the special features first. There'll be timestamps down below where we'll talk about video and audio as well, but I want to talk about the special features first. So we have Is It Good to Want Things directing Roxy, which is a 20 minutes long? 23-minute long interview with director Jim Abrahams of Airplane and Police Squad and Naked Gun and Top Secret fame. I like a lot of these films, who'd have thought? And I've got a new one to add to it, despite the fact that this is a drama and not actually a, comedy. It has comedic elements, but it's more focused as a drama. So he talks about how he related to Dinky's character, Dinky played by Winona Ryder, and how she was insecure and not understood by her parents and how he related to that. He talks about the cast and what it was like to cast Jeff Daniels. He also talks about the music that was used in the film and what it's like to make a non-parody feature. There's also the interview with screenwriter Karen Lee Hopkins, which is titled I Will Never Be the Same, Writing Roxy, which is a 20-minute long interview where she discusses her work as a failing actress before coming up with the idea of Roxy Carmichael on the set of The Running Man. She talks about meeting Winona Ryder and what the film meant to her, both as a creative person and as someone trying to survive in the industry. You also get a 30-minute long, it's probably more 28 minutes long, video essay, which is called Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael, Fame, Freedom, and Female Empowerment, which is a video essay written by podcaster Suzanne Bollin. I think it's just Bolin, yeah. This examines the film's themes of being misunderstood and a misfit and alienated whilst in suburbia, and it talks about, again, the human connection over fame and fortune, discusses femininity in film and literature, dating well back to the days of Jane Eyre, all the way to even current modern-day films, and how female representation and empowerment was presented over a film journey, over 100 and so years. So yeah, it's really interesting. It was a really good breakdown of like the themes of the film and what it meant on that kind of a level. Again, in terms of its female empowerment and how it wrote its characters and how it presented them. And I really liked it. It turns out I actually have a real nice soft spot for that genre of just films about women trying to understand who they are. How about it? I actually really like this genre. I mean, I love Booksmart, and there are a lot of films in this genre that I really, really like. Whether they're queer or not, it doesn't matter. I just really like them, and this one isn't specifically queer, but it has elements to it with certain characters. But yeah, so let's talk about the video and audio. In terms of video, I actually thought it was quite nice. I'd read up on Blu-ray.com originally, and they said that, oh, it's not the best, it could have been better, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, look, in all honesty, it's a really nice transfer. Like, there was no specks or dirt or grain, like nothing I saw. It was a healthy amount of grain, the picture looked nice, it had an appropriate level of brightness and color to it. Sure, give it a 4K scan, everything will be, touch up a bit more. Something like Heathers could make it look really good, like their Arrow Videos restoration for Heathers. If you applied something to that quality of this could have that exact same level of, pulp to it, which would be really nice. But from what it's worth, it looked great. My only issue was there was this strange latency effect where it kind of lagged a little bit with some, in the opening sequence, about 15 minutes in when our character Dinky here goes into Roxy's bedroom, just as she's entering the bedroom, and right before the credits ended at the end of the film, there was just this weird, like, I don't know how to even. I wrote it down as like a latency effect. Like it just had a weird lag. And I was like initially like, oh shit, is there something wrong with my TV? Is it like some kind of weird motions moving or whatever? And then I paused, had to clean my glasses because I was in the middle of like eating dinner. I got cheese on my glasses because I'm a professional. I'm an adult. I was having a toasted cheese sandwich. Anyway, appropriate dinner for this kind of movie. And so I came back, and when I clicked play again, it was fine. So I don't know if it was just maybe how the Blu-ray was or how it processed, but because it happened a few times, and it wasn't annoying. Like after it stopped the first time, I was like, okay, we're cool now. It's clear. It's easy. It's whatever. And it might have just been how the video was processing at the time, because even watching the video essays and all the stuff, the interviews which showed footage from the movie, that same effect didn't seem to appear. So it could have been a strange anomaly on my part that just happened to occur occasionally, but it could be actually part of the disc. So worth noting, but nothing that really detracted from the viewing experience. At first, I was obviously concerned, but once it resolved itself, I was like, okay, we're cool now. It's all good. So, yeah. Also, at the 48-minute mark of the movie, you can see a reflection of the camera in the car. Which is really funny because it's a really dramatic scene, and then you're following the car and it reverses out, and you just see the cameraman and all the crew just there, and I'm like, oh, should have gone with a different angle, but okay. It is what it is. Audio-wise, it is a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0. It sounded good. Really solid for what it was worth. It's not really a film I think needs a 5.1, but it wouldn't hurt for surround effects and whatever, and the score, because the score is quite nice. The musical songs that they're original to the movie were quite good as well, but they were nicely delivered within the 2.0 anyway. Everything as it was front heavy, but none of it was like, I could understand everything that everyone was saying. I could understand the music clearly. It was spaced out nicely, so it all felt natural and healthy. So yeah, I actually thought it was a surprisingly good stereo mix. So again, a 5.1 wouldn't hurt the film, but to give it the extra level, especially for when those songs play in, and to really drive up the emotion and whatever, especially for the score and for the songs, for the soundtrack. But for what it's worth, it was good. I think as an overall, actually, like, I was actually surprised by this release. I was concerned at first. I've never been consistently disappointed by Viavision. They've always been relatively consistent. They always succeed with having some great special features, and I think the special features in this set is great. The artwork's nice, the packaging is good. Sure, it's that kind of slip where you'd prefer alternate artwork and whatever, which would have been nice, but they don't really do that, unless it's like an imprint release. But no, I thought this was really good. It's a really compelling film. I mean, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was just like, it's one of those, I think people term it now a mid-budget drama, where, the first act, you kind of getting all these pieces that are jumbled around, but then as it kind of builds together, the themes, the motifs, the imagery, it all builds and intertwines with all the characters, and you start realizing what it is and what it's about, and start connecting with them, and before you know it, you wish it wouldn't end. So for a 95-minute runtime, man, it's compelling. And Winona's great. Jeff Daniels is superb. It's a beautiful looking film. It has a great production design. It's a good take on Americana. Again, it's themes of like individuality and contrasting fame with not being famous, but like in the degree of how one person's fame can indirectly affect other people. And yeah, it's one of those small town kind of dramas that I do occasionally like to watch as well. My favorite Australian film is Love Serenade, and that's kind of similar. It's Australian, so it's not small town Americana, but it is small town Australiana, and it's like way out back. And it's one famous person. It's the opposite of this film. The famous person actually comes to town, whereas this one, it's the idea of them coming to town that makes everyone go kind of crazy. But no, it's good. It's a really good, fun, interesting film, and a really good set to get. A really solid release. The interviews are great. Their video essay in particular is superb. So yeah, it's a solid release. So check it out if you're interested. If not, Winona Ryder's in it. That's the reason I got it, which is one of those things where it's like sometimes that's what you need to pull someone into watching a movie. Hey, Winona Ryder's big right now. She's in this movie. I should go watch that movie because Winona Ryder's in it, and she's solid. Thanks for watching. Adios.